Take it live for a minute. Let's see what we have with the live. All right.
Live.
Say something.
Being live is cool, and that is the coolest scorpion I think I've ever seen that I saw in there.
All right. I'm talking. Now to play some sounds.
Squirrel! Squirrel!
Being live is cool, and that is the coolest scorpion I think I've ever seen that I saw in there.
All right. I'm talking. Now to play some sounds.
Squirrel! Squirrel!
Okay, well, all the sounds are going through. The one big problem I have is it sounded like you were echoing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good. That's not good at all, you fucking piece of shit Windows. There's no explanation as to why you would be echoing.
I have no idea.
Keep talking.
What kind of scorpion is that you chose? Do you know? It looks kind of glow in the dark.
You'll find out.
Cool. I remember I used to have a scorpion in a necklace, and it was kind of glow in the dark, but I think they just put paint on the thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, you're still echoing. Or not talking. Hang on, let's see if you're still echoing.
Cool. I remember I used to have a scorpion in a necklace, and it was kind of...
Nope, still echoing. We can't have that. We can't have that echo. That will make it sound like shit. I mean, I can tolerate a certain amount of shit, but I can't tolerate that much. Talk.
I wonder what it is that changes. Sometimes it doesn't happen with updates. Other times it does. It's kind of a hit and miss, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's hit and miss. It's random. It's totally freaking random. We did the show from here at the Oasis last week, and nothing has changed on the computer since then. Literally nothing.
Unless, of course, the Windows had went through that forced update.
Well, not that I'm aware of. You know, I usually know when a computer goes through a forced update.
Yeah.
You know. Next one is VB audio meter, video audio. Let's see. Audio output. The fuck? What in the hell? What the hell? Are you outputting to the wrong fucking device? Where the hell do I change it at? Output, hardware out. Come on, where the fuck do I change it at? Cancel that.
I think one of these days I'm just going to take the random words you say while you're thinking and group them all together and start creating the most interesting sentences together.
I'm sure it would be quite entertaining. As I'm trying to sort it out. Trying to sort it out. I've got to figure out how the hell this echo is. Where the hell this echo's at?
Yeah. Echo cancellation on my end while I suddenly have no echo on your end?
You could give it a shot. Couldn't hurt.
I have turned off my echo cancellation. I'm not sure if it'll really do anything on your end, but let's see. Cancellation on my end while I suddenly have no echo on your end?
You could give it a shot. Couldn't hurt.
I have turned off my echo cancellation. I'm not sure if it'll really do anything.
Didn't do a thing.
Didn't do a thing? Alright.
Didn't do a thing. It's still echoing. It's still echoing as it feeds out to YouTube.
Oh, no, I'm going to turn it back on because all of a sudden I had a bit of an echo on my end in my headphones. So
yeah, the problem is what we're feeding out to YouTube right now is it's causing you to echo. It's causing you to echo onto YouTube's, and there's no apparent reason for it. It's got to be something here in my settings somewhere that I'm just not finding.
Well, if we both hang up and I try calling you back,
well, you could give that can we give that a freaking try? It won't hurt.
Yeah, turn it off and on again.
Let's see what we got here. Hello.
Hello. Perhaps this will fix the echoey problem. Although your alter ego says, Amber's in the vortex again, having fun.
Oops, play. Oh, come on. Let's see what we got here. Hello.
Hello. Perhaps this will fix the echoey.
Nope, you're still echoing. Turn it off and turn it on again. Didn't work. Getting out of the car, running around it, didn't change a thing.
It was worth a shot.
Yeah, well, it was worth a shot. Problem is, I got to have that before I can record it because it's got to be. Because if it's sending it out like that to YouTube, that's what I'll get on the recording. That goes out to the podcast upload.
Is there anything else you can try turning off and on?
No.
No? Well, that sucks.
So usually when this happens, I've got double tracks running, but I don't have double tracks running. Let's see.
Like, it's coming and going. Sometimes it's totally normal, and then other times it's really fuzzy. Kind of makes me think of underwater or something. It's interesting because
Hey, hold on a sec. Hold on a second. I want to go listen to the YouTubes and see if that fixed it. Uh-oh, I can't hear anything now. Oh. Oh, and I made it worse. It made it sound like you're underwater.
It's kind of hot.
Well, it doesn't sound like that on the YouTubes, so.
Well, how I sound on YouTube is how you keep sounding off and on to me. It's interesting.
Yeah. I made it worse. It made it sound like you're underwater.
Myself out by this point when we're mucking around with it.
Hold on.
It's kind of hot.
Changing. Well, it doesn't sound like that on the YouTubes, so.
Well, how I sound on YouTube is how you keep sounding.
Yeah, and you're just coming through like crap for some reason.
Well, apparently you sound better now, and she can hear me. So that's good.
Well, they can hear you, but it's echoey.
Yeah, but for a bit there, I was almost not heard, and you were echoey. But now you sound less echoey, and you're heard again.
That's why I said something has gone incredibly sideways with the. No. Fucking Windows.
I wonder if AIs have a version of coffee for themselves, and if whatever AI is in charge of our section just did not get their caffeine this morning.
Maybe.
Or whatever caffeine, or whatever passes for caffeine in the AI world.
Yeah. Well,
what do you think that would be?
I have no idea.
Like maybe a virtual cup of space or something?
I have no idea.
I'm going to have to think on this now. Well, one day I consider coffee. Well, what is the number one thing that you want to get to speed up your computer?
Memory. Memory.
So then a virtual cup full of memory.
Yeah. See, okay, you're not being fed back from Discord into all of the settings for some reason. Somehow it's just magically making it work.
That's odd.
Oh yeah, it's very odd.
Maybe I sound echoey because it's catching sound from your headphone in the speaker?
Hang on. No, you can't be doing that because my headphones are pretty tight on my ears and they don't leak, and I wouldn't be able to hear you in my headphones if it was coming in my headphones and back my speaker. It wouldn't work.
Now I want to draw someone with leaky headphones.
Mm-hmm. Talk for a moment. So talk for a moment.
If I were to draw something with leaky headphones, I think I'd probably end up drawing like liquid version of music. So I guess it would be symbols or something.
Hi, Hemdian. We're trying to sort out the bloody audio issues here. We're well past start time for the show because the audio's not working. We've been on this for 15 minutes.
Good to see you, Hemdian. Glad you could make it. Enjoy the circus and entertainment of this morning, where my current belief is that the AI forgot to have their cup of coffee, which I think an AI cup of coffee would be a virtual cup of memory.
Yeah, could be. Okay.
I don't know. Any ideas?
You can't hear me. You can't hear me at all. All right.
Any change in the way I'm sounding at all, or?
No. Well, I don't know. I can't go to the YouTubes because...
Oh, you sound normal.
I sound normal. Oh, well, that's nice.
You sound normal. That's the first time that you sounded normal since we started this call.
Squirrel!
I can hear that.
All right.
What the hell just happened?
Hold on. Let's hear how that came back on the YouTubes. All right.
Any change in the way I'm sounding at all, or?
No. Well, I don't know. I can't go to the YouTubes because...
You sound normal.
I sound normal. And so do you.
That's the first time that you sound normal. No. There we go. Call.
No, you don't sound normal. You still sound echoey.
Oh, no.
And you can hear the squirrel. You can hear the sounds now, too.
Yep.
Now we've got you echoing still.
What? It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, well, I'm afraid to touch anything else. I still don't understand why it's echoing.
Although I sound like I'm using a PA system in an outdoor event, it's not too bad. Not too much the outdoor event. So that is still better than it was.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what setting is missing here. That's just weird. That setting would be the same.
So my theory now is that the AI has had half her cup of coffee.
Uh-huh. So that's not working, so... Let's try turning that off. And try turning this to where it... Stream track, yeah, okay, that's fine, that's it. All right, talk for a second. Let's see if it changes your...
I know you were talking about the tracks for sound, but what popped into my head while you were mumbling...
Okay, that's enough. Hush!
Oh.
This to where it... Stream track, yeah, okay, that's fine. That's it. Come on, Google. All right, talk for a second. Let's see if it changes your...
I know you were talking about the tracks for sound, but what popped into my head while you were...
No, that's we still got you echoing like being at a stadium.
Oh, we got everything else kind of sounding okay. Maybe we should try turning off and on the Discord again?
Yeah.
No?
Sure, why not?
Okay. It's a thought. Hello! I wonder if I've stopped echoing because we did the magic off and on.
I don't know. Let's find out. Do you still hear sounds?
Squirrel!
Yep.
Okay.
Still here? You still sound normal to me.
Okay, let's see how it sounds on the Google. Sure, why not?
Okay. It's a thought. Hello! I wonder if I've stopped echoing because we did the magic off and on.
I don't know. Let's find out. Do you still hear sounds? No, you're still echoey.
I was hoping.
You're still echoey on Google. Whatever is being streamed out is not working. For whatever reason, the output is messed up.
Well, if anyone out in the metaverse has any suggestions on what we can try, start throwing them in. If my dad hasn't already done them or tried them, then probably worth giving a go. See if it'll fix the issue.
Ratio, compressor output gain down. All that's looking good. Talk for a second.
Wow. I hate when my brain does it. You say talk for a second, and then whatever thought I had goes completely blank, and all of a sudden it's like I forget how to talk.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to.
I was actually thinking about those cat videos that people are so obsessed with.
Yeah, well, I'm just see if that changes anything.
Wow. I hate when my brain does it. You say talk for a second, and then whatever thought I had goes completely blank, and all of a sudden it's like I forget how to talk.
Yeah, well, I'm just trying to. The microphone is really...
I was actually thinking about those cat videos that people are so obsessed with.
Yeah, well, I'm just... Yeah, that didn't change it, but I'm realizing that the microphone seems to be picking up every bloody thing right now.
Your microphone or my microphone?
Mine is even picking up my clicks, my mouse clicks. It's like gone into hypersensitive overdrive.
You did make it more sensitive in one of our shows.
I didn't touch the sensitivity setting on this. Usually I just bring the microphone closer when I need it to be more sensitive.
It was for the sounds.
No.
For some reason, making it more sensitive made the sounds happen, I think.
No, I hadn't touched the microphone sensitivity.
If turning it off and on again doesn't work, try waving a dead chicken over your setup while incanting ritual oaths to the gods.
Yeah, well, that might be on the list here tonight. That could very well be on the freaking list. Fucking, of course, Google hidden all the sound settings that I used to know where they were at and how to mess with everything perfectly. And so they go, no. We want to fucking put all this in perfectly usable menus that any moron can find. Not an intelligent person, mind you, but any moron can use it.
Your alter ego says I am sounding better.
Well, if you're sounding better, how better are you sounding? Let's find out. I used to know where they were at and how to mess with everything perfectly. And so they go, no. We want to fucking put all this in perfectly usable menus that any moron can find. Not an intelligent person, mind you, but any moron can use it.
Your alter ego says I am sounding better.
You are sounding better. Well, if you're sounding better, how better are you sounding? Let's find. You are sounding better. The fuck is going on here?
I think the AI finished their coffee. It's just been happening incrementally for no apparent reason. So I really think it's just that the AI finished their coffee.
I'm beginning to wonder about that. Oh, all right, you piece of shit. Let's see.
That's interesting. John's mouth is not moving, but his voice still is.
Yeah, I've learned to talk without moving my lips. How's that? All right. Let's check you one more time. Say a couple of words.
I really do think that we should come up with some kind of...
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Oh, all right, you piece of shit. Let's see.
That's interesting. John's mouth is not moving, but his voice still is.
Yeah, I've learned to talk without moving my lips. How's that? All right. Let's check you one more time. Say a couple of words.
I really do think that we should come up with some kind of...
That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Oh, all right, you piece of shit. All right, you're sounding better. Almost acceptable. It's not what I'm hearing. It's what the freaking is being sent out on the stream. For some reason. Let's try making an adjustment over here. Talk for a second.
Ventriloquism. Yes, I think my dad's been practicing that. It's so he can freak out the kids and make sure that the kids feel very, very unsure of whether or not he's watching.
Hush. It's not what I'm hearing. It's what the freaking is being sent out on the stream. For some reason. Let's try making an adjustment over here. Talk for a second.
Ventriloquism. Yes, I think my dad's been practicing that. It's so he can freak out the kids and make sure that the kids feel very, very unsure of whether or not he's watching.
All right. Well, we have something that's semi-acceptable. Your echo is almost non-existent.
It's probably as acceptable as we're going to get it. Watch it go away entirely in another half hour or so because the AI is on their second cup of coffee.
Yeah. It needs another gallon or so from my perspective. All right. Well, what we're going to do here, I've got to fill my cup, which I would have already done by now. But we may as well give ourselves a little music to prepare for the show and get going.
Don't claim to know your story, don't even have mouth. In search for glory, gone with them sacred rules of old. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Preacher man discovered, passed down from saint to sage, like a kind-hearted lover who's been lost on this stage. Went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing right. Not the answer, not saying you're right or wrong. I ain't no tips and dancer, we'll move it right along. We're missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Junkie and the trigger, the steam doesn't cry. Captain pulled the trigger, yes, doing time. They went missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads. Is it yours or is it mine? I think it's the fucking AIs. Don't claim to know your story, don't even have my own. Search for glory, go with them, take it when missing down Highway 49. Devil's at the crossroads, sitting doing time. Devil's at the crossroads, Joker doing fine. Just sitting doing time.
Yeah, that was weird. Hemdian mentioned about the music.
Yeah, well, that's usually what I hear when the music is going. Is it kind of goes in and out? I never thought to explain it like a car radio at extreme range. But
what's funny is I went over and I looked at the output on it, and all of a sudden, and it was popping up, popping down, but I hear it perfectly smoothly with no problems whatsoever. All right, well, at any rate, let's move this along and get a show done. I got better things to do today. All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for WordPress plugins A to Z, not Z.
WordPress plugins that don't sting. It's episode 566, and we have plugins for Gravity Poet 3, No Spam Bee, Caddy Commerce, Affecting Herds, Random Sentences, Oinking, and Classic Press Options, all coming up on WordPress plugins from A to Z. WordPress. It's the most popular content management and website solution on the internet. And with over 80,000 plugins to choose from, how do you separate the junk from the gem? Join us for a weekly, unrehearsed conversation about the latest and greatest in WordPress plugins. This is WordPress plugins from A to Z. Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be hiding out there on the globe today. Coming to you direct from the oasis deep in the heart of the Cowichan Valley, where the AI is just having loads of fun with us today. I'm John Overall, and with me is the ever lovely
Amber Overall.
Yeah, and we're putting together a show for you, fighting against the AI and everything else. But before we get too far down that road there, don't forget you will want to hang around for the end of the show for the Q&A segment with Amber, which is always loads of fun. For those listening on the podcast, you will want to check out the YouTube version. Just scroll all the way to the end and listen to the great bits and pieces there if you've already heard the show. All right, great discussions before and after, except for today where we spent all of, 20 minutes or 30 minutes, close to 30 minutes on it, trying to get the audio working correctly. Actually, over 30 minutes because we're 20 minutes late getting started on the show today. What a pain in the neck. All right, at any rate, I think that is all for me, so I should.
Thank you for sharing, John. Now get down from that soapbox.
This is number 25 of 52 episodes for 2022. So we're episode 566. We only have 100 more episodes to go before we get to 666. That should be an entertaining episode, I think, because I've come across a lot of numerology things around 666. All very interesting. I mean, there's all the different various things around 666, but the numerology ones are the ones I find interesting.
I'll do the math. See if it falls on June 6th of 2024. Because it's going to be 2 years away, approximately.
I'll have to do the math, yeah. Mostly we've had rain here on the west coast, on the wet coast, but that hasn't stopped me and my kids from getting outside. We've actually been doing some puddle stomping, kind of fun. I think they like going outside best when it's rainy or snowy because they get hot chocolate when they come back in. And that is a great way to get out and spend time with your friends and family. Get outside, go puddle stomping if it's raining in your area. If it's not, if it's nice and hot, go swimming. Do something with your family, and you're never too old to go splashing through puddles or do a cannonball into a lake or a river. Get out there and be a kid.
Absolutely. All right, let's go. Talk about some news.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! Thank you. And now the WordPress news with John Overall.
No, with Amber.
The first thing we have is the WordPress Vulnerability Report, June 15th, 2022. Did you say West Coast or Wet Coast? I said both.
It's the Wet Coast.
It is the West Coast, Wet Coast.
No, it's the Wet Coast, man. And it's really
this year,
wet.
absolutely.
This
Everything
year.
is drowning this year.
Yeah.
So we've only got a few of the WordPress vulnerability things to worry about. It's just a few plugins this week. Gallery Bank, Copify, and Toolbar to Share. Be sure to check this list for your clients and for your own sites. I just noticed you forgot to share your.
I'm trying to do that now. It keeps selecting the wrong goddamn screen.
Oh. It loves you.
The AI is not loving me this morning at all. It's telling me
it loves you a lot and is demanding your attention like a cat.
It's telling me I should be outside working with the chickens. And now it doesn't want to share the screen.
Okay. We'll go without this screen, whatever.
Yeah, well, we'll get there eventually. Keep going.
So next up is Elementor acquires Stratic. Stratic is a static and headless WordPress hosting company. I honestly found it a little surprising that Elementor grabbed this up, though it seems to be a good investment on their part since Stratic has been an Elementor supporter since pretty early on. I don't think much will change with this acquisition, but if you use Stratic, keep an eye out, and if something changes, let me know.
Yeah. What does Stratic do?
They are a static and headless WordPress hosting company.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So I don't really think much will change.
No, probably not.
Next up is WordPress 6.1 to focus on refining full site editing. So the next phase of collaboration is I miswrote that. Next phase of collaboration and multilingual features anticipated in 2023 to 2025. This could be pretty awesome, and there are some video demos that have been put up through Twitter via the Gutenberg lead architect, Matthias Ventura. The whole thing seems pretty cool. It's going to have easier to build patterns, custom post types, block types, more intuitive experience, locking patterns, and managing save patterns, all sounding like fantastic things to me.
Nice.
Your Ultra Ego said, hope it doesn't love you long time, or does, depending on what you need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The AI.
Keep going. This is just one of those days.
Next is Gutenberg Editor, now in testing on Tumblr. And Day One Web Apps. I didn't even know what Day One Web Apps was until this article, and I had to go look them up. So I thought that Gutenberg was a WordPress only kind of thing, though it apparently in 2021 during the Q&A segment at the State of the Word, Molenweg said Gutenberg is something even bigger than WordPress, which is basically saying, how do we edit and create the web? And how can we get as many people, both proprietary and open source, collaborating on that as possible? So I guess the goal of Gutenberg was to go beyond WordPress right from the beginning. I was a little surprised by that.
Could be. Could be. I'm going to have to hang up Discord and restart it because it broke. Are we having fun yet? Oh, God, yeah. I'll clean this up in post-edit, folks. Absolutely. We'll get this squared away. No problem. There we go. Let's try that. All right.
Hello.
Don't worry. We'll clean this up. We'll clean this up in post-edit. All right. Next article. Screen share still doesn't want to work anymore.
Athens to host WordCamp Europe 2023. With WordCamp Europe 2022 concluding last week in Porto, Portugal, we learned that Athens will be hosting in 2023. There was a fantastic turnout for the in-person WordCamp this year in Portugal. If you want to learn more, you can check out the article. We'll have the link in the show notes for you.
Oh, yeah. Well, the articles are showing for YouTube, I think. According to my YouTube screen, nothing's happening.
It's showing on YouTube.
Okay.
Microsoft, June Windows Server updates may cause backup issues. So Microsoft put out an update on June 14th. It was a forced update due to an issue causing backup problems. There was an issue with the way that the files were being held in the server and the shadow files weren't reloading correctly. The patch is in place now, and they have completed a forced update for everyone. They'll be sure to keep an eye out for E-access denied errors when you are completing backups. If you want the more technical geek speak, you can go and check out the article.
Yeah, go check it out. Just another way for that to mess up your computers.
On YouTube, it's only showing the Gutenberg editor now in testing.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is like all of a sudden everything is going...
Athens.
All of a sudden everything is going sideways here. Now, according to this, I can see on my YouTube that it's playing again. So, hello.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, it's playing. Hemdian said, lost a minute there, just a spiny thing. Not sure if that was my end.
Yeah, well, no, I'm certain it's coming from here because I'm all of a sudden having massive slowdowns on my internet.
Oh my goodness. The last one I have on here is, when will I be able to upload my brain into a computer?
I don't want that.
This is an article written in response to one of TNW's readers' questions, and although they go into depth on explaining why, the short answer is no, no, and no.
Yeah.
Really interesting information throughout the whole article. The writer goes into depth on the space requirements, time requirements, mechanics on the how, and then dives into the question, are our minds more than the sum of their biological parts? Very cool article.
Interesting
and
article.
Then all of a sudden...
Yeah, well... Welcome.
And in the show notes, there will be all of the extras too. And there's some cool articles, some techie articles, and there's always good information in there.
There's always lots of great articles and information for you to explore some stuff that you might not have found through all your other wanderings through the internet. So make sure you go check them out. I think we should still go, support our supporters.
Please, can everybody be quiet? Please be quiet. Shut up! Thank you. And now the WordPress news with John Overall.
No, with Amber.
Wait.
Oh, that was wait.
We
one more time.
It's time to donate. WP. Plugin. A to Z.
Are we having fun yet, folks? I'm so lost.
So, this show won't work without you, the producers. This is a value for value kind of show. If you find value in our show, toss some value back. Help keep the show going so we can keep on plugging.
Yeah.
Show producers, this is where we like to take the time to thank everyone who supports the show, despite our AI issues.
Yeah, well, this is just one of those weeks in the show, and I don't have all of the tools available to me that I have at the Brewery Overlook to sort it out. And we'll see how that
this
goes.
week, is it Greg's Graphics again?
It's Greg's Graphics, yes. Nobody else is submitting art, so it's definitely Greg's. It's the Scorpion. It's a very cool Scorpion too. It's the one that's what I'm using for the YouTube video previews now is a snippet of the whole picture.
That's cool.
Yeah, it'd be even cooler if you could see it, if it would allow screen sharing, but for some reason, it doesn't want to.
I'll keep an eye on the YouTube. It's a little behind, but I get to see it. Being a Scorpio myself, I've always had a bit of a soft spot for scorpions.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is an actual glow-in-the-dark scorpion because of the black light look there.
Yep. It looks like a black light.
That is so cool.
Dark scorpion.
Scorpions are really cool. They always kind of remind me of crickets, except for with a tail.
I like the colors. I like his use of the scary fonts. So
Definitely. It's pretty awesome.
Gives it a really cool look.
Thank you, Greg. You are so awesome. I really love your art.
Yep. Keep bringing us great art, Greg. Maybe somebody will step up and try to compete with you. That would be kind of cool too, but we get what we get.
You can submit your own artwork at wppluginsa2z.com/artwork, or you can check out all the artwork yourself by going to wpplugins.com/show art, or is it art submitted?
Submit art.
Show art submitted.
Yeah, something like that. Look for the links on the website.
Yes. Show executive producers up on stage this week. We still don't have anybody up on the stage this week. Executive producers are the ones coming in with $50 or more in donations. You can also send along a note that will be read out live on the show. Backroom producers hanging out in the lounge. They're always there, always drinking coffee and hanging out. Backroom producers play a big part in keeping the show going. Some of these producers are the anonymous benefactors coming with donations under $50. Some help us out with contests, artworks, and site organization. Some send us in notes, questions, plugin suggestions, or plugin reviews. And others help us out by sending in licenses for the contests. Our least visible backroom producers help out the show by hiring us. This is as good as donating, plus we get the added bonus of more experience to bring to our listeners here on the show. A big thank you to all the producers out there. We could not do the show without you.
Absolutely.
You can support your show with the time, talent, or treasure. If you need definition, that is in the show notes for you. And if you want to send something into us through snail mail, you can also find our address where you can send an actual item or a handwritten note into us. And from here, we go into what everyone comes here for.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a tough time doing that because suddenly the computer has peaked out for CPU usage. Moving my mouse across the screen, it skips.
Oh no.
Seriously, it's like I don't know what the hell it's doing here.
Well, if your computer didn't allow the forced update, maybe that's what's going on.
No, it doesn't have a backup thing going on here either, so.
Well, no, what I'm saying is I know that my computer gets really weird if I don't allow the forced updates to go through. So maybe your computer is being weird because the forced update wasn't allowed to go through. I swear there's like little AI bullies that hang out and they're like prankster bullies and they just mess with you until you let the update go through.
No, there was something else going on here.
AI Loki?
Couldn't tell you, but something is going crazy.
Maybe that's where all the gods have gone. All the gods have gone into the virtual world and become AIs, and they like to mess with the teeny weeny little humans.
Yeah, well.
Your alter ego said, "Is it retrograde? Full moon? Microsoft isn't happy with you?"
I have no idea. Something's going wrong with it today. It's definitely having a mood.
Yep.
All right, so bring me back on target here. We're supposed to be heading into, you've covered all the time, talent, and treasure. So it's time to dive into the meat potatoes of the show. Is it?
Yep, it sure is.
All right, let's try this. All right. Classic press options. I don't have any classic press options today. Do you have any classic press options?
Nope, no classic press options today. Nothing new anyways.
Nothing new in classic press. All right, well then let's just get along and talk about the WordPress plugins. And this week here, what do we have for WordPress plugins? The first one I have for you is an add-on for Gravity Forms for Mail Poet 3. And this is one, if you use Gravity Forms and Mail Poet, this is an excellent plugin to add in there to find another way to encourage everyone to step up and start using start signing up for your email list. And what it does, of course, is it adds a checkbox that you can force people to either answer or not answer, so that before they can submit that contact form or any other form on your website, thereby increasing the number of people that will register for your email list. A very useful tool, because after all, the email lists are the king. Something you absolutely need is your email list. It's a great little plugin, and one that I highly recommend. I use it on a couple of my own websites, and it's the add-on Gravity Forms for Mail Poet 3, and I give it a 5 dragon rating.
And the first one I have is Herd Effect, Fake Notifications and Social Proof Plugin. The name alone honestly piqued my interest. Once activated, you will find it under Wow Plugins on your left-hand menu. The whole plugin is about creating fake notifications. So, like, so-and-so has bought this or that 10 minutes ago. The point of this is to encourage people to buy your products. You can make it seem like you are now running out of whichever product it is, or make it seem like people are really interested in another product, and there is no limit to how many of these you can set up. You can make it so that not as many of these pop up during a person's visit, or they pop up constantly, making it look like you're doing a lot of business. I think this is brilliant. In the free version, you can change the look a little, decide whether or not to give your visitors a chance to exit out of the notification, and you control the time it stays for, how often it shows up, what it says, how it shows, so on and so forth. Free version gives you just enough to get this going and help your business out. Premium version gives you more look and feel control and offers more options for adding information and controlling its timing and placing. So I just realized I forgot to explain what it looks like. It's like this little black box that pops up on the right hand side, and it's just a little notification that hangs out there whether you scroll up or down. And if you give your viewers the option to press the X, then they can exit out of it, but you can also not give them the option. It just hangs out there for however long you tell it to.
Very cool.
Yeah, I rate this at 4 dragons.
Very nice. All right, the other one I've got, this is an oldie but a goodie. I like to bring it back from time to time to let everyone know it's out there. It is the Anti-Spam Bee plugin. This is one I have been using for going on 10 years since it first was introduced. It was my way of getting rid of the default one that WordPress installs. I can't even remember the name of it. At any rate, the one that WordPress installs for you automatically is a big pain in the neck. You got to go sign up for an account, and then you got to run it through Jetpack sometimes, and it just all around does not work as efficiently as Anti-Spam Bee. Anti-Spam Bee is simple. You can have it set up and running in less than 5 minutes, and it does a fantastic job. It puts a very minimal load on your website, and it does eliminate spam. And even better, you can tell it to eliminate spam by countries or only allow comments and other things through there by specific countries or languages. Very useful plugin.
Cool.
One you want to check out if you're looking for a better anti-spam plugin for your site. And of course, the anti-spam that it's going after is all the comment spam that shows up on your website. So go check this one out. It's Anti-Spam-Bee, and I give it a 5 dragon rating.
I didn't hear any dragon. Did it happen?
Yeah. You didn't hear it that time?
Okay.
So
nope, that time I didn't hear it.
It just suddenly, randomly, without me changing anything, it just suddenly stopped.
Yep.
Good to know.
It happens.
Good to know.
So next one I have is Random Sentence Generator. This is a total freebie and loads of fun. All you have to do once this is activated is put the short code RSG, and the plugin does the rest. After putting the short code into your page or post, you'll see a bubble on your page appear with Random Sentence Generator, and that will have a button that says Generate Sentence. You can even submit a new word or multiple words. My cat was eating catnip at the time, so I put in cat crack. It appreciated the phrase. I also have Ye Olde Pirate active on my sandbox, and this plugin plays well with it. So the first sentence I got was, below ye olde close party together, we have to need company to feel underneath old school, dusty, clever, steady.
Yeah.
I thought this was just lots of fun. So I rate this at 5 dragons.
Cool.
Oh, I'm not the only one who didn't hear the dragon.
Yeah, well, I seem to have no control over what's happening right now.
Silent dragons more dangerous? Yes, I agree.
Silent dragons are definitely more dangerous. All right. Let's see what happened here. One more time. Let's see. Yeah, for some reason it's not kicking out to the YouTube now.
Okay, well,
yeah.
It's there. We just can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
Silent, dangerous kind.
Could be because the computer is loaded up to 100% max CPU right now. And I don't know what's choking the computer. I've been trying to find it. All right. Next one I've got for you, and the final one for today, is Caddy Smart Sidecart for WooCommerce and the Premium Edition. I'm using the Premium Edition on this on the Rogues Tavern website. It creates a very nice sidecart for your shopping cart. Makes a nice display, something that's always there for people. They don't have to go hunt down the link or anything else on the site to find out where their shopping cart's at. It's just right there in front of them, which is a very nice, useful thing. And it helps everyone know what they're doing, where they're spending, what they need to spend more money on, etc., etc. The free version gives you just enough to get started and get going. The pro version doesn't cost all that much more, so you'll know once you get the free version installed whether or not it's going to provide what you need. And you want those little bit of extra items the pro version has, and spend that extra money, you end up with a little bit extra plugin, and it does a fantastic job. Been using it for a little while, and it seems to be working excellently, so it's something I can recommend you go check out. It's Caddy Smart Sidecart for WooCommerce Premium and the Premium Edition, and I give it a 5 dragon rating.
Oh, I think I heard it.
Yeah, so go ahead. It's computer.
The last that I have is called Oik. I thought that was a cool name because my goddaughter used to call eggs oiks. Mm-hmm. And that's what comes to my mind every time I see the word is hard-boiled eggs. But what this plugin is actually is it was created to provide a load of shortcodes to help display more dynamic content for your site's pages, posts, attachments, links, and custom posts. Totally free. The shortcodes can do some pretty amazing things, like give you the ability to present your Google map in shortcode form anywhere. Nice. This plugin actually reminds me a lot of Pretty Links, though a little easier for newbies to grasp at first glance. I also like that it has a help page. It helps you to understand better the syntax and whether it expands in titles. Very cool. This plugin also has an option to add or create your own shortcodes in the options area. It has I think it said 80 in total shortcodes that it provides for you. So You have the 80 that you can use, or you can just create your own. Very cool. It works really well and seems to behave nicely with, seems to play nice with others. And I would have to say this is a pretty good newer version of Pretty Links. That's kind of how I'm thinking of it. They did a good job on it. I rate this at 5 dragons.
Cool. Very nice.
Hamdeen said, rather than play a sound file, you'll have to make your own roars. Go
roar!
Ahead.
There you go. There's my roar. It's not as good as the one there. I surrendered to the AI today. It gets to win.
We do have a listener question today.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Good morning, Amber and John. My child wants to do some YouTube videos. What is the best software or the software you use to get background to use? Do you have a green screen behind you to hide whatever's in the room? Do you have any other suggestions for setting up and doing recordings and streaming? Thanks, parent of a hopeful YouTuber.
Tell him to abandon all hope. Ye who enter here, abandon all hope. You'll have to fight the AI every step of the way. Wrong day for this question. OBS, I use OBS or Streamlabs for the streaming software. It usually works pretty well. Today's the exception. The audio is provided by Soundbite. The video of me, the picture of me, is provided by XSplit, which is a virtual camera, which automatically creates a green screen. You don't need a real green screen anymore. It's very nice. I used to have a real green screen, but this is a whole lot nicer because you don't have to deal with a real green screen anymore. And dealing with the audio loops, if you're doing multiple people, that's a real pain in the neck, as I discovered when we started working on the Oasis computer, when I had to install Voicemeeter Banana to create virtual pipes inside the computer for the looping, because I don't have a soundboard here. At the Brewery Overlook, I have a soundboard for all my audio mixing, which allows me to actually control it.
Makes it a little easier.
It makes it easier. I have more control over it. But unfortunately, right now, everything is inside the computer, and the computer has decided to max out everything, and I can't find what's overloading the computer right now. So, at any rate, there's all kinds of software out there, and if they're going to be YouTubing, if they're going to be, depends on what they're doing. Are they going to go create their own videos with a camera and then editing them, uploading? That's one way to do YouTubing. It's probably the best way, but so at any rate, it is what it is. Good luck. Hopeful YouTuber. There's no money to be made in YouTube, by the way, for anyone who's doing it.
No.
Now you got to do it. Now you do YouTube or other things for either the joy of it or for marketing purposes. You're not going to make any money. All the money being made by people are the ones that started it 10 years ago.
Well, speaking of marketing, unfortunately, we don't have any contest right now. We're still waiting on the worker bees to return with our next contest. We will have one. It's coming. Just not here yet.
Well. All right, and we got to cover up a couple of things before we get into the Q&A segment. First thing is plugins we covered. This episode, I covered add-on Gravity Forms, Mail Poet 3, which I gave a 5 to, Anti-Spam Bee, which I gave a 5 to, and then Caddy Smart Sidecart for WooCommerce and Premium Edition, which I gave a 5 to.
And I covered Herd Effects, Fake Notifications, and Social Proof Plugin, which I rated at 4. Random Sentence Generator, which I rated at 5, and Oik, which I rated at 5.
All right, and of course, the meetup is for, I believe, next week. Let me double check that. Yep, next week. So a week from this Saturday, and the meetup is at the Oasis. If you want to join it, you need to go RSVP so you can get directions to where the Oasis is located, and come on up and party. Have some burgers, hot dogs, some soda pop. If you want beer or anything, got to bring it on your own. Come check out the chickens, or come up early and go visit me at the Honeymoon Bay Market, where I will be until about 2 o'clock. So the meetup doesn't start until 3 p.m. So
Get up, it's happening. It's so exciting.
Yes, it's happening. for however few people show up. I don't care if 1 or 10 show up or 25 show up, but it should still be a good time no matter who comes.
It'll be cool and fun.
Yep. And then also, if you want to be on an interview show, reach out to me at wpplugins.com/interview. If you've got plugin suggestions or something you'd like to have reviewed, just submit it to wpplugins.com/submit plugin review. All right. It is that time. Let's go play this.
It's question and answer time.
What, Amber?
So before I get started, if anybody out there has any questions they'd like to have asked here on the show, send them in to me at amber@wpbro.ca, and we'll get them in here and see if we can stump my dad. And I just realized for some reason my third question didn't get saved on here.
That's fine. We'll just go with 2.
Okay. First question. Is it possible for a full backup from WordPress to be corrupted in the zip FTP directly from the cPanel?
Yes, it is.
How does that happen?
Ask the AI. Corruption can occur anytime. We discussed that last week or the week before when we were discussing hard drives and the fact that data is randomly written and then randomly written back. People have this delusion that when data is written to your hard drive is written like you write sentences on a page. It's not, actually. When it's written to a hard drive, it's written like a 2-year-old writes sentences on a page. In other words, a letter here, a letter there, a letter here, a letter there, and it's just randomly scattered across the hard drive. Now, of course, there's a directory to where it's located, but it's not always in the same places. It puts it in whatever available block it can find that data to store it.
Okay, so when it's a fresh full backup that's just been made of the site.
But that fresh backup was made and then stored on the hard drive. And of course, as it's making that backup, it stores the data in a temporary directory as it's extracting the data to compact it down for FTP. Then it takes that FTP file and rewrites that FTP file. So that file's already been written a couple of times before you download it. And then when you download it to your computer and you write it again.
Okay.
And of course, during the process of transmitting it across the internet, it's possible for data to get lost. So there's all kinds of opportunities. There's all kinds of opportunities for the AI to go in and say, you know what? I want that chunk of data. Thank you. and mess it up for you. I'm just going to keep blaming the AI. I have nothing else to blame it on except the AI now.
And you wonder why the AI messes with you so much. Jeez.
So yes, it is possible for a brand new, fresh copy to be corrupted, and then you might try downloading it again. You might get a clean copy, or it just could be a corrupted one. Or you make a new backup and see if you can get an uncorrupted backup. And if you keep getting corrupted backups, that means there's a problem with the data it's backing up. So it can be a nightmare if you get a corrupted backup, it can be a nightmare. And it's oftentimes the data is corrupted. I mean, think back when I had the computer store and I had to go back 14 days to find an uncorrupted copy of my backup.
Yep.
So I had been backing up corrupted data for 2 weeks before the program crashed. The program kept running with corrupted data. It took 2 weeks for it to crash, but I had been backing it up thinking that I was safe. And it turned out I was backing up corrupted data. That's my best.
Okay,
my best example of how it occurs.
So I only have one more question. Should we do the closeout before?
Yep. Well, read the question.
Okay. Have you ever been unable to unzip a full backup from cPanel?
All right, that is a good question. I have lots of answers to that one. Let's let our girl take us on out of here, and we'll come back and answer that question.
Reminders for the show. All show notes can be found at wppluginsaToZ.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the newsletter for more useful information delivered directly to your inbox. WP Plugins A to Z is a show that offers honest and unbiased reviews of plugins created by developers because you support the show. Help keep the show honest and unbiased by going to wppluginsatoz.com/donate then set the donation level that fits your budget. Help us make the show better for you by subscribing and reviewing the show at Stitcher Radio, Google Play, and in the iTunes Store. You can also leave us a review on our Facebook page using wppluginsa2z.com/Facebook. You can also watch the show live on YouTube, check out the screencasts and training videos, and remember to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications of all new videos. Follow the show on Twitter at WPPluginsA2Z. John can also be reached at his website, johnoverall.com, or email him directly to john@wppro.ca. Thanks for joining us, and have a great day.
Thanks for listening to the show. This show is copyright by johnoverall.com. So until next time, have yourselves a good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you happen to be out there on the globe today.
Alrighty. Okay, have you ever been unable to unzip a full backup from cPanel? Yes. And no, but usually if I've been unable to unzip the file, it's because I'm trying to unzip it to a hard drive that doesn't have enough space to unzip it to.
What if the file just says unable to unzip?
It sounds like it's corrupted. You know, re-download.
It's interesting.
Re-download the file and see if you can unzip it.
I had the experience of both of these when I was playing around with my site. I went to do a backup, and I couldn't get the full backup the full backup to load into. I couldn't get to FTP out, so I just took all the files separately, and then I wasn't able to unzip and the backup that I was able to download before. It was an interesting experience. It's like the backup just was screwed up, but it's my sandbox, so it wasn't overly important.
Yeah.
Just interesting experience. I was able to get everything all sorted out and get the backup to download and then to unzip by redoing it, but the first experience was it was very interesting.
Interesting. Yeah, it's hard to know. It's like the only problems I've ever had when I download a backup file from cPanel, the only time I've ever had unzipping it was when it was trying to unzip it to a hard drive that wasn't capable of extracting to. Are you still there? Hello?
You vanished.
Yeah, well, my Discord just suddenly changed. And all of a sudden, I found my blockage on the computer.
Oh.
Fucking Adobe Creative Cloud decided it was going to. Because all of a sudden, as soon as I force close that program down, my CPU load dropped all the way down to 35%. and then my Discord just went suddenly blanked out, and now it's all working fine. So the AI loaded up Adobe Creative Cloud for me and said, you know what? We'll let this run in the background and just fuck with you until you can figure it out. Well, we got a show done anyway, sort of.
We did. With all the technical difficulties, it was fantastic. It worked really well.
It should be rather entertaining. Yeah, and as Hamdian says, you never know a backup is good until you try to restore it.
Or until you try to download it.
All right, we'll have a burger for you, Hamdian, if you can't make it to the meetup. I assume that's what that means.
Well, I said that sucks because he said he can't make it due to scheduling conflicts, and I said I'll have a burger for you. So I could have a burger for him.
That's what it means. I didn't read all the way back in there.
That's why I'm in charge of the chat.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't read the chat very often. I only read the last 3. I don't read through the entire thing, and so if people have been chatting a lot, I miss it entirely. Huh. Wow. all of a sudden, all these loads that I've had, I had a server overloading during this event too.
I guess the AI figured, well, you're done now. I'll let you have everything you need.
Yeah, well, you're no longer recording. You're just still babbling on YouTube. For anyone who bothers coming to the end of the show and listening to us babble. We get a few, but you know, it's kind of nice every once in a while. But with that, I've got a chicken fence to mend and a few other things to get done today. So I'm going to play a little music and get us on out of here and have yourselves a good day. Thanks for showing up.
These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. A quarter after midnight, and I'm watching the wall. Sometimes I feel so uptight, I just can't sleep at all. Every day doing the same old thing, we're losing time. The weekend comes, we gotta have some fun and rewind. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. I feel the rope tightening, choking off our air. We need to grab some lightning. Friday's almost here. Caught in a web, we need to cut this thread. We're hanging by. Where is it said you have to be half dead to survive? We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, just to taste the These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder. We're gonna make time stand still. We gotta feel the hunger, hanging over the edge just to taste the thrill. These are the days of thunder.
All right. I have no idea if anyone can still hear me because the computer just loaded up again.
Oh my.
Yep. All right. That's all we got for you now. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Adios, mofo.